In the day's other news, the U.S. and China confirmed that they have the beginnings of a long-awaited trade agreement. The interim deal cancels a new round of planned U.S. tariffs against China and scales back some others. China, in turn, will buy more American farm commodities. Both President Trump and Chinese officials talked today of what's next.
China would like to see the tariffs off, and we're okay with that, but they'll be used as a negotiating table for the phase 2 deal, which they would like to start immediately, and that's okay with me.
The consultation in the second phase will depend on the implementation of this phase 1 agreement. So the priority for us is to sign this agreement and make use of the agreement to promote economic and trade cooperation.
We'll look at the trade announcement in detail after the news summary. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear 3 cases involving President Trump's refusal to release financial records. A state prosecutor in New York has subpoenaed 8 years of the president's tax returns. Several U.S. House committees are seeking bank records. Lower courts have ruled against Mr. Trump. In Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson called for unity after winning a resounding new mandate to carry out Brexit. His Conservatives captured a commanding majority in Parliament in Tuesday's election. That clears the way for Britain to quit the European Union at the end of January. Robert Preston of Independent Television News reports.
Sheer jubilation after the Queen confirmed he's staying as Prime Minister, celebrating the best election result for a Tory leader since Margaret Thatcher's in 1987. Now, all the more remarkable because just 6 months ago his party was wiped out in elections for the European Parliament. And what's even more remarkable is that he won seats from Labour that have never been Tory in modern times.
To all those who voted for us for the first time, and those whose pencils may have wavered over the ballot, and who heard the voices of their parents and their grandparents whispering anxiously in their ears, I say thank you for the trust you have placed in us and in me, and we will work round the clock to repay your trust.
What propelled him to victory was his slogan, Get Brexit Done. And today he begged a country torn apart by Brexit to come back together.
After 3.5 years, after all, an increasingly arid argument, I urge everyone to find closure and to let the healing begin.
It was that famous bong.
It is now 10 o'clock and we can reveal the full details of the Joint Broadcasters exit poll
That confirmed a political earthquake.
A large Conservative majority.
Labour seat after Labour seat fell to the Tories, starting with Workington and Blythe Valley.
20,000.
All through the former industrial heartlands of the Midlands, Wales and the North.
I will not lead the party in any future general election campaign. I will discuss with our party to ensure there is a process now of reflection on this result.
It's over, Mr. Corbyn, isn't it? It's over, isn't it?
It is over for Jeremy Corbyn, though he'll stay for a few months till a successor is chosen by Labour members. Quite a Christmas present for him. Just a few weeks ago, he was Parliament's hostage, not enough MPs to govern, and now his majority is so big, he can be confident of living here and being our Prime Minister for many years.
Thank you all very much, and happy Christmas. Thank you.
That report from Robert Preston of Independent Television News. In Algeria, a former prime minister has been elected president, despite a boycott by pro-democracy forces. Officials say that Abdelmadjid Tebboune received 58% of the vote yesterday. They said turnout was 40%. Today, thousands of protesters turned out in Algiers and other cities. They charged Tebboune is beholden to the same military-backed elite that has ruled for decades. A search team in New Zealand has recovered the bodies of 6 of the 16 people killed in a volcanic eruption. They are believed to have been Australian tourists. The volcano on White Island was still spewing toxic gases today, making the search a high-risk operation. 2 people are still missing. Some 200 countries struggled today to reach agreement as a climate summit wound down in Madrid. It appeared the so-called COP25 gathering could put off action on key issues for another year. Meanwhile, in Brussels, European Union leaders pledged to make the bloc carbon neutral by 2050.
We want Europe as the first climate neutral continent. We took this decision with respect for many concerns of different countries, because we know that it is important to take into consideration the different national circumstances and also different starting points.
Poland was the only EU member nation not to sign on to the agreement. On Wall Street, stocks managed minimal gains as investors weighed the worth of the trade deal with China. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 3 points to close at 28,135. The Nasdaq rose 17 points, and the S&P 500 added a fraction. And veteran actor Danny Aiello died overnight in New Jersey after a brief illness. His breakthrough came in Moonstruck in 1987 as Cher's jilted lover. He also played pizza shop owner Sal in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing and earned an Oscar nomination. Other movie credits included Fort Apache, The Bronx, and Once Upon a Time in America. Danny Aiello was 86 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, as the U.S. and China reach a deal, how close are we to the end of the trade war? Mark Shields and David Brooks consider what brought the Congress to the precipice of impeachment and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.